while we were watching this, and really while we've been dealing with this case as a whole, I think I understand exactly how everybody watching this case has been feeling. And I'm going to bring up a video that kind of explains how I think we're all feeling. How we think we're all feeling. So let's just watch it together.
This is a square. Can you guess which spot that goes in?
The square.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
Yes.
Young Thug.
And how about this rectangle? That one
Also the square.
that goes in
Young
there
Thug.
too.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got this thin rectangle.
The thin
Can you guess
rectangle.
where that goes?
The thin rectangle.
That's right. It
Young
goes in the
Thug.
square hole. And up next, a cylinder.
That's right.
The circle.
I think that goes in
The circle.
the square
Young
hole.
Thug.
Now, we've also got this semicircle right here. Do you see a slot that would fit
The semicircle.
semicircle?
The semicircle.
That's right.
Young Thug.
Square hole. Okay. Up next, the triangle. We know what hole that goes
The
into,
triangle.
right?
Triangle.
right.
That's right.
Young Thug.
Square hole. And up next, we have the arch.
The arch. The
And
arch.
you guessed it.
The arch.
It goes in the square hole.
Young Thug.
Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. That's you, isn't it? That's exactly you. That's all of us, man. Everything keeps going back to Young Thug. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If it's a round peg, a square peg, an arch, a triangle, there somehow or another are going to tie that to Young Thug. There we go. I might have to remake that and put like the actual words on it. Like, oh, here's Rondarius Ryan, Young Thug. Here's Lil Wayne's bus shooting, Young Thug. Like everything keeps going back to this. And at the end of the day, nobody knows where the Rico is. Shout out to another content creator. I don't comment very much about him. His name's Classy Beats. And a lot of you all have checked him out before. Lots of you all have commented about things that Classy Beats is doing over there. Shout out to him. Excellent content creator. Let me bring this in real quick because I need you all to help me with something. All right, do me a favor. Go over to this guy's channel, hit the like button, and subscribe to his channel. At the current moment, he has 66,006 subscribers. Don't leave that brother on 666. Help that brother out. Help him out. And this is my plea for you to help this brother out. So we're going to watch this because he did a breakdown of Monk Tunk's attorney. And I have to say, shout out to my subscribers in Discord that share this with me. I think this is very insightful about the man, Mr. Right. We call him Mr. Wrong, attorney wrong, whatever. So go check him out. Let me drop the link in here too, if the moderators. I thought this was a great breakdown of Mr. Derek Wright, the attorney, and it does help out a lot. So let's go.
Discovery requests and motions. Failed to comply with the court order. What? Failed to appear at a scheduled hearing. What? Failed to inform his client that their action had been dismissed, and then lied to the investigative panel in an attempt to excuse his failure to attend the court hearing. Oh, man. Yeah, we talked about this on Friday. Phenomenal RN says Monk Tunk's lawyer was terrible. Reviews on, he does? He has terrible reviews online and he has been disciplined. Oh, no. Really? I'm going to see if I can find it. There he is. All right, y'all want to do this? We're going to have a Derek Wright roast session. Shout out to Phenomenal RN. Oh, this is tough.
Yikes. All right, so we see right here, he's pulled up an AVO. I guess that's some kind of attorney review. He's got 3.5 stars out of 30 reviews. He's got 63% are 5-star, but my goodness, in the morning, 1 stars are 37%. There's no 4, no 3, no 2. They're all either 5 or 1 star reviews. Oh my gosh. All right.
Okay, we're about to have a Derek Wright roast session. These are Derek Wright's reviews. Y'all want to look at the photo?
That photo
Let's
is
see if I can,
that's some glamour shots right
see
there.
if I can zoom in. Oh my god!
Man,
Here we go. He's got 63% 5 stars. Let's see what some of these reviews are saying. All right, Derek Wright. This is in September 10th. So this was
not too long ago.
last month from Anonymous. Worst. Hired him for my son 10 years ago. Watching him on the YSL case brought back just how horrible of an attorney he was. He would not show up or was late. When wanted a jury trial, he said, take a plea or pay in full. He is about money and should be called king of plea bargains. Dang. And this one's actually from last year. It says, worst attorney ever. Attorney Derek Wright. This man is a crook and a liar. He abandoned my son's case and he's only been hired for 3 months and refuses to answer any calls or texts to explain why he thinks he's going to take our money and abandon my son's case. He never showed up for court on time or visited my son. He made promise after promise and assured us he would fight for my son. He used a juvenile excuse saying me, the mom, called and texted too much about the case. How else was the family supposed to get updates on the case because he never called or did the job he was paid for? I wish I had seen negative reviews on Fine Law of other clients complaining about how incompetent he is before we hired this clown, or even the complaint with the board that shows his history of being a liar. What? Uh-oh. Do not hire this wannabe Johnny Cochran because he doesn't have the experience to do the job. If you do hire him, you'll regret it. Save yourself the trouble. He is a hypocrite. Oh, man. So we got to go to the bar and see. Hold on a second. We got to go to the bar and see what's going on. So let's go. Here we go. So he is an active member in good standing. All right. He's got his bar card here. There's his phone number if y'all want to call and send him some lunch. Tell him how great of a job he did, which I think you should.
No.
Status, active member in good standing. Okay, that's good. Public discipline, history on file. He joined the bar in 1995 and he went to Georgia State University. All right, we'll read his bio in a second, but we want to see this history. Okay.
2006.
So it's saying what the site only includes. And then it looks like in 2006, he had a review panel reprimand. Now, what was that for? Are we going to be able to see what it is? Oh, interesting. Okay. So we're doing some research here live in 4K. Let me zoom in so y'all can see this. This was back in 2006. So y'all know technology wasn't the greatest back then. We were struggling in 2006. All right. Obama was about to get in office. We needed some help. Here we go. Supreme Court of Georgia. Oh, man. The Honorable Supreme Court of Georgia met pursuant to adjournment. The following order was passed. In the matter of Derek M. Wright, this disciplinary matter before the court on Derek M. Wright's petition for voluntary discipline, in which he seeks a review panel reprimand and requirement that he attend the bar's ethics school at his own expense. Wright, who was admitted in 1995, admits that he filed a tort action on behalf of a client. What? But failed to respond to the defendant's discovery requests and motions. Failed to comply with the court order. What? Failed to appear at a scheduled hearing. What? Failed to inform his client that their action had been dismissed, and then lied to the investigative panel in an attempt to excuse his failure to attend the court hearing. Oh, man. Oh, dang, Derek.
He went big.
Such conduct violates rule 1.3, 1.4, and 8.1. We know these are the rules of, I think it's
conduct.
professional conduct or attorney conduct of the Georgia rules of, oh, okay, there it is right there. Professional conduct, part of the bar rule 4-102D. Wright had no prior disciplinary record and states he is genuinely remorseful and accepts responsibility for his misconduct. The state bar and the investigative panel concur in the petition. After a review of the record, we accept the petition and hereby direct that Wright receive a review panel reprimand and that he attend the next scheduled session of the state bar's ethics school at his own expense. Oh my gosh. That's interesting. I don't know. I would like to hear the other side of the story and see what happened or what his excuse was. I mean, y'all got to see him on the stand and kind of how he moves a little bit. So I don't know that it would be a good excuse, but dang, this is crazy. Do they have a bio of Mr. Wright too?
I want those reviews.
And I'll post this later so y'all can watch it. It doesn't really have anything. It just shows where he went to school. He's in criminal law and family law. Would y'all hire Derek Wright at this point?
No.
Let's see. Okay, he's got some good reviews. Okay, this was from 2022. Let's see what this one says. I see so many comments about incompetent, thief, unreliable, etc. Now, I have known Derek Wright for over 30 years. Okay, well, we're not reading over 20 years. This one seems a little bit biased. Y'all want me to keep reading it? We'll give him his flowers. For over 20 years and have been a very reliable and responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a weird sentence. I have called him myself, and it will be a minute before he returns my call, but he do return them. He is a very busy man because he comes highly recommended. Y'all, please let's be fair. Who wrote this? And not bash him until he proved himself incapable of being a great attorney for your team. Famous last words. Oh, Lord. I promise, if y'all be fair, give him time, you will win your case. This is what I experienced with him. I have used his services twice and I've never been disappointed. Let's be fair, guys. F-A-R-E. Federal case, extremely knowledgeable, professional, well-prepared attorney, without a doubt, one of the best in the nation. This is from 2022, that same year. Not sure what's going on, but highly disappointed. I have dealt with Derek several times and have recommended him to a few people I know. He had always been solid with me and responsive. In February of 2022, I called him and asked about filing a divorce for me. He told me he could do it and to send him the details he needed with $700 to start filing. I cashed out him the money and things went radio silent. I reached out a couple times. Sometimes he responds. Most of the time he doesn't. It's been 2 months and I can't find anything with the courts regarding my divorce. Oh God, 2 months? I mean, after 2 weeks, I'd be like, hey, y'all, we got to get this thing done. I reached out to the state of Georgia bar and they advised me to send either an email or a certified letter to Derek. Contact the client assistance program at 404-527-8759. After that, file a grievance with them at the Georgia bar. And here's where you can file. I'm one step away from filing the complaint, but all I want is my money back or proof the divorce has been filed. Jeez, I wonder if there's one as far back as 2006. Wouldn't that be interesting? It looks like it only goes back to 2009. I'll be interesting to see. Kim Possible says, read Antonio Sledge is next. Did he leave a review? I'm going to see if I can find it. Y'all are saying Antonio Sledge left a review as well. Sheesh. Mr. Wright is the best lawyer in Atlanta.
Stop the cap.
He did. You're kidding. Hold on a second. I was extremely disappointed. Okay, which one did I just read? 20 years, extremely knowledgeable, disappointed. How did I miss this?
Oh man. Oh. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
I cannot believe this. Did y'all know this was in here?
Now I know now.
Five stars. January 10th, 2022. Posted by Antonio. Best lawyer. Oh my gosh. I, Antonio Sledge, truth, Mr. Wright was my life in the courtroom. He is the best I ever hired. He away be honest with me about a case to always pick up the phone when I called. Never let me down.
That is not going to age well.
What?
No, it did not. You're right, Momac. It did not.
Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Wait, this is real. Oh man. He said, never let me down. Now, Antonio Sledge's sentencing took place last year, and he had Mr. Derek Wright. He said he had known him for a minute for the year before that. Wow, this is tough to read. Yeah, I'm with y'all on this one. This did not age well at all. Always pick up the phone when I called. Never let me down. I mean, that's tough. Especially after everything that happened. Oh my gosh. Y'all want to keep going? I don't know if any one of these can top that one. What do y'all think about best in the business? Mr. Get It Done Indictment Slayer. Okay. Mr. Wright is an exemplary example of what an attorney embodies and what an attorney should stand for. Mr. Wright is just good old-fashioned, gets the job done. What you ask of him, he will make it a reality. Everybody's case is different, but if you walk into a courtroom with Mr. Wright, you're in great hands.
Wow. Oh,
yikes.
Wow.
Just good old-fashioned, gets the job done. What you ask of him, he will make it a reality. Everybody's case is, okay, I just read that. Everybody's case is different. He is respected in every courtroom from Fulton County to DeKalb County and is taken very seriously by the DAs. Personally, he has successfully defeated 3 separate felony indictments that were non-related that happened at 3 different times in my life. Oh, man.
Maybe you should stop
This
doing
dude
crimes.
is a menace.
Yeah. Wow.
He has won a motion to suppress hearing from me. Very impressive. You rarely see that live in action when it counts most. He has preserved my freedom and innocence on several occasions. And for this, I am eternally grateful. Honestly, Mr. Wright is Mr. Wright. If you want someone who is articulate, sharp, cunning, and will actually win, he is your guy. If you want someone to exceed expectations and that always has the right game plan, call Mr. Wright, I guess. Wow. I'd rather take my chances with the public defender than pay real money for Wright. Sheesh. Rico Blaine up in here, taking more shots. Here's one. This is a tough one to read. Incompetent, insufficient, inefficient, inept, incapable are just some of the words that come to mind. He arrived late to my court hearing 3 out of 4 times, and this made it impossible to build a good rapport with the judge. He was unable to fully have the case prepared and made a fool out of himself in court. I never had a chance.
Yeah, what y'all think about that, though? Mr. Wrong. I can kind of dig that. Stimpy said, I feel the more positive reviews, the higher money amount they've paid. What do you think? I can dig that. I can dig that. I don't know. I mean, that's sad that Antonio Sledge's review is on there, but also this video of him getting arrested is on the interweb too. Like with the guy sitting, like, hold on a second. I'm gonna pull this in real quick just so we can look at something. And again, not trying to be foul toward right if he has some health issue or whatever like that, but I just think maybe this should be reevaluated. All right, here it comes.
All right, court is adjourned.
He just looked at this man. No kind of.
Good seeing you, Judge Whitaker.
Yes, thank you. Good to see you.
All right.
And I'm just saying, like, there's no kind of walking with your client. There's no kind of, I don't know, give the brother a hug, pray with him, something before he walk off into the sunset. And he just said that you're the best one for him and you watched out for him. I think that was in 2022. But now in 2024, you going to jail. All right, let me see real quick. Let me see what you said here. Brother Jones, you said he's a capable attorney, but he seems to fight for some and sell out others. He absolutely sold Sledge out. A lot of attorneys work with the state. They all sleep in the same bed, favor for favor. No problem there. And I don't know him for it. And Lord willing, I will never have to deal with this side of the law. This will be the most that I deal with. All we know about Derek Wright is what we're seeing right here. And what we're seeing right here is not impressive. Now, if we saw somewhere else where he was really crushing it, but maybe this time he just fumbled the ball or maybe was a little bit unprepared, I think we could all be gracious. But from the having your client sign a plea agreement that you later on said was shady, then it get thrown in jail, your client get thrown in jail. Nothing we've seen about Mr. Wright is what these people were saying. I think that's the general consensus that I'm leaving with. Yeah, I'm like, you didn't even like, and this brother, if you go back and look at him, man, this brother is looking at you for, it is very clear right there. He's looking at him for guidance. He needs guidance, direction, what to do next. Where is this going? I don't know. A lot of people are saying, can he file a complaint or a plea? Can he file something on his attorney? I think he can try inadequate representation, but I don't know how long that'll take. Let's go look and see what kind of shenanigans we got in the email. Petition. Oh my gosh. Antonio Sumlin. Who is that? Oh my gosh. Why is it so big? What in the world? Who's Antonio Sumlin? Who's that? Okay. Shout out to Danielle. She said, Obama. They gonna throw Obama in jail? Oh man. I might not agree with them philosophically, but I ain't trying to throw the brother in jail. Oh, yeah, talking about Obama, the guy. Okay, I got you. All right, real quick, let me see what this is. This is now present on the screen. Yo, that thing is real small. Look. You do not like me if you got me reading something this small. Okay. All right, let's make this a little bit larger for everybody else. Let's do Jason. That's a little bit better. Oh, that's not a little bit too much. Okay. All right. So it is the state of Georgia versus Mr. Antonio Sumlin. And this is from today. Wow. Okay. And now comes Lindsay Evans, DCS officer, in the name and behalf of the state of Georgia to bring action against Antonio Sumlin, hereunto defendant called the defendant in shows. The defendant entered a plea of guilty to the offense of conspiracy to violate RICO, conspiracy to commit crime, participation in criminal street gang activity, conspiracy to commit a crime in November in the November-December term of 2022. All right. That this court on the 22nd day of December did sentence the defendant to serve the follows. Oh my word. Okay. Yo. Wow. Okay. CT 1.47-48 and 55. 15 years to serve on probation. All counts concurrent to count 1 with the following special conditions. You shall abide in full by each and all the terms of this negotiated agreement that you and the state agree to. Defendant's failure to abide by any term of this agreement shall constitute a violation of agreement B. B. You shall testify truthfully again about all matters related to this case, upon which you are questioned at any trial or judicial proceedings stemming from the facts alleged in the indictment, but reserve the right to assert your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. In accordance with testifying truthfully about all matters related to the case, defendant acknowledges that each and all of the statements contained within the defendant's factual agreements section of the agreement are true. The defendant shall testify about those statements and any matters related to the case when asked to do so. D. You shall not have or possess no guns. Yikes. You shall not have or possess no guns. Who wrote this? During the terms of the sentence or anytime thereafter, unless your rights to do so are restored. You shall not commit no criminal acts. Who wrote this? Shall not commit no criminal acts. Additional plea terms. Curfew 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. unless you're working in school or emergencies arise. No contact with any co-defendants on this indictment except through counsel. Reserve your right to assert your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Your probation may be suspended after 5 years, provided that you do not violate the terms of your agreement and violates no laws. Your probation may terminate after 10 years, provided that you do not violate the terms of this agreement or violate any laws. Well, if it terminated in 4 years, why would it terminate in 10 years? Let me read that again. Your probation, it says your probation may be suspended. Oh, okay, suspended. What does that mean though? After 5 years, provided that you do not violate the terms of the agreement and violates no laws. Your probation may terminate after 10 years, provided that you do not violate the terms of your agreement or violates no laws. Where do these double negatives come from? Okay. I don't get what does it mean to suspend it though? Yeah, what does it mean to suspend it? What does it mean to terminate it? And why does it suspend in 5 years, but in 10 years it'll terminate? So what happens in 5 years? What does that mean? He can go out to the club at 10:30? Does that mean he can do these crimes? I mean, what does that mean? Continue. That this court, by proper order, however, permitted the defendant to serve said sentence on probation, the terms of the condition in which are fully set forth in the copy of said sentence, which is attached hereto, marked as Exhibit A, and specifically incorporated therein. That the defendant has violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following particulars. Do not violate the laws of any governmental unit. Special conditions. You shall not commit no criminal acts. What in the world is this? Am I bugging? You shall not commit no criminal acts. Why are they writing like this? On or about 8/8/24, was that August? The defendant committed a new offense of theft by shoplifting in DeKalb County government special conditions. Pay court order monies and fees as directed. The defendant currently arrears $545 in fees. Last payment made was $524.24 in the amount of $50. So he was shoplifting. Boy, let me tell you, if you get in trouble, man, just do the right thing. Why are you shoplifting? Man. No reporting. What does that mean? What did I miss? Mo, what did I miss? He was stealing. Stop stealing. Okay, wherefore, the state of Georgia prays that the citation for revocation of probation be served on the defendant and that the defendant be directed to appear before the court on a day to be fixed by the court, and at that time to show cause why probation should not be revoked. Wow. Okay. Man, I don't even know who this person is, but he is man, you cook, my guy. Antonio Sumlin, also known Obama. You done, brother. Why are you stealing stuff? Okay, this is not filled out. It looks like a certificate of service. They don't have the factual agreements, but why are you over here stealing, my guy? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Stop stealing. But you know who didn't steal? But who did steal? Right? See how I did that? He didn't steal, but he did steal. You know who it is? It's Brian Steele. Let's finish up Brian Steele's contempt. They dropped a contempt charge on him. They dropped it. So let's look at it. I said I'd finish this up. Let me just double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. Food is expensive. Maybe he was just borrowing it. Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's possible. But it looks like he owed the court fees and he stopped paying them. I don't know what that, I don't get that part. I guess they stopped shoplifters now. I mean, they should never have stopped, but I don't give excuse like that. I don't give excuses like that. So how was he was paying fines in May? Get right, but he committed the crime in August. That's what I didn't understand. I'm looking, I can't find. There is no Brian Steele mugshot. Y'all, Ray has been misbehaving. Ray has been sending me pictures of fake Brian Steele mugshots all morning. And there is no Brian Steele mugshot, Ray. I'm going to show you the picture Ray sent me. Y'all, Ray needs to stop. This is the mugshot that Ray sent me, y'all. That's it. Y'all, put Ray in the chat, y'all. Go on and put Ray in the chat. Ray, come on, man. Just stop. This is not Brian Steele. There is no Brian Steele mugshot. Let it go. Let it go. Stop it. Put Ray in the chat because he just be misbehaving. We're going to have to put Ray in 0-second timeout. All right. Let me get this done. I'll pull this back in for y'all. Yeah, I don't know what Obama did, but it seemed like whatever he did, it seemed like they're getting him. It seems weird, like they get him after the fact. I don't know. Maybe it's like Minority Report. They're getting him before he gets. I don't know. Yeah, these are some broke criminals. These are some brokest RICO defendants I've ever seen. There you go. Yeah, y'all tell Ray to get it together. By the way, let me real quick say thank you so much to Amethyst Angel. I do want to say I appreciate the $5 super as well as the other $5, explaining that you are a member of the International Association of Master Penmen, Engrossers, and Teachers of Handwriting. So I think it's fair to say that you're probably a handwriting expert. We'll have you come out to the court and talk about these signatures that we're watching. That's what we need to do. So when we get to the bottom of this article today, we'll have you analyze the signature from that released Brian Steele from this contempt. Let's get done, Jason. Let's go. All right. Other defendants continued to press. And if you're not tapped in fully on what we're talking about, Brian Steele was held in contempt by Judge Glanville. Even though Glanville was removed, Brian still had the contempt, so he had to go to court. And the Georgia Supreme Court has ruled that has done away with that contempt, and so removed it off of his record. So we're just reading that and celebrating with Brother Steele, who did have to steal to get this victory. Let's go. Other defendants continue to press for a transcript of this ex parte meeting, refusing to accept the representations of the trial court and the state that nothing inappropriate happened. Judge Glanville responded to that an appellate court could tell him if he was wrong and that there was other bodies in Georgia that could review his conduct. Judge Glanville then said Steele could return to the courtroom, took a recess, and following the recess reminded Steele that he was still being held in contempt and could purge the contempt if he revealed the source of his information. Judge Glanville told Steele that he would go into custody at the end of that day's proceedings if Steele did not reveal who disclosed the ex parte meeting, who told you about the party. Judge Glanville then stated that he might make some other remedies depending on what information I find later. The jurors were then brought back into the courtroom and trial resumed. So as I mentioned before, part of the problem is that if trial was not able to resume, then there is Judge Glanville's quote unquote leg to stand on for holding Brian in contempt. But they just kept on going. Remember, they just kept on trucking on without Brian Steele. I'm sorry, with Brian Steele, but he was in contempt. So that argument was gone. Let's continue. At the end of the day, after jurors were released, Judge Glanville asked Steele if he was willing to reveal who disclosed the ex parte information. Steele informed the court that the Georgia Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers sent an attorney to represent Steele because the court accused Steele of eavesdropping, which is a crime. Judge Glanville informed Steele's attorney that he was about to enter an order of contempt. Why didn't they say who the attorney was? This is very anticlimactic writing. They're hitting the high parts, but there's some medium parts that they could be hitting as well. I think saying who the actual attorney is would kind of been, we would have appreciated a little bit of that. That was an informative part. Judge Glanville informed Steele's attorney, Ashley Merchant, that he was about to enter an order of contempt, was offering Steele another chance to purge, and that was the only thing I'm trying to do at this point in time. Steele's counsel argued that due process required Judge Glanville to refer the matter to another judge since Steele was entitled to a hearing, and Judge Glanville would be a witness at that hearing. Judge Glanville rejected those arguments, sentenced Steele to 20 days in jail to be served on weekends, and stated that Steele was not entitled to a superseded bond. The written order reflecting this sentence did not provide Steele an opportunity to purge the contempt. This appeal ensued. Steele challenges, number two, Steele challenged the contempt order on several grounds. We do not reach most of these arguments because we agree with Steele that to afford Steele due process, Judge Glanville was required to recuse himself. Our precedent makes clear that individuals facing criminal contempt are entitled to due process. And we know that this is Hedgequist versus Hedgequist, 275 Georgia 188, 189, 563 SE. I'm not doing all this. The constitutional right to due process applies in criminal contempt proceedings because a conviction can result in the loss of liberty and the levy of a penal fine. Footnote omitted. That process is due depends on, in part, on whether the contemptuous conduct occurred in the court's presence or whether a court announces punishment immediately. When the contemptuous conduct occurs in the presence of the court, a trial court has the power, when necessary, to maintain order in the courtroom, to declare the conduct to be contemptuous and announce a punishment summarily without further notice or hearing, so long as a contemptor has been given an opportunity to speak on his behalf. Okay, we got that. I am not going to read all these different codes, but I did drop it down in the link in the chat. Even where summary punishment for contempt has been imposed during trial, the contemptor has normally been given an opportunity to speak in his own behalf in the nature of a right allocation. These situations are typically limited to conduct that occurs in open court, because such conduct generally threatens the court's immediate ability to conduct its proceedings. And see, that's why Brian Steele's like, y'all just kept on trucking on. So whatever happened was not an issue that derailed the court, because it wasn't. Such as where a witness refuses to testify or a party disrupts the court. And we know that right there. Such summary proceedings are tolerated because of a trial court's substantial interest in rapidly coercing compliance and restoring order. At 14 punctuated a minute, if a trial judge was required to rescue or hold separate contempt proceedings every time a proceeding was disrupted, unruly litigants, lawyers, and members of the public would essentially possess a heckler's veto, and a trial judge would have no way to restore order and proceed with court in a timely fashion. So again, if somebody's in the gallery just raising Cain and causing all kinds of disruption, the judge can immediately throw that person in jail. Well, the problem is what Brian Steele did was not that. So therein is the problem. Let us continue. Let's go. The situation is different when the contemptor's conduct does not interfere with the court's proceedings and thus need not be punished immediately. In these cases where the court delays punishment or the conduct occurs outside of the court's presence, more process is due. If the announcement of punishment is delayed, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Let's see. That was page 13. A court, there it goes. I have no idea. It looks good. All right. A court must give a contemptor reasonable notice of a specific charges and hold a hearing. And we know that is from Dowdy. If the punishment is delayed and the contemptuous conduct was directed toward the judge, or where the judge reacted to the contemptuous conduct in such manner as to become involved in a controversy, the hearing must be conducted by another judge. All right. That's what Steele was asking for. He's like, hey, I got a problem with you, Judge Glanville, because you had the ex parte meeting without me. You had a party without me, man. I'd have brought my red Solo cup. I would have brought some potato salad, no raisins. I would have come to the party, but you didn't invite me to the party. You excluded me from the party. Here, Judge Glanville did punish Steele summarily for his refusal in open court to comply with Judge Glanville's orders, as he held Steele in contempt, placed him in custody, and had him removed from the courtroom. But that punishment is not the subject of this appeal. Steele was allowed to return to the courtroom and continue representing Williams, and was given until the end of the day to comply with the court's order. Judge Glanville made clear that Steele will still be in contempt, but did not announce what specific punishments he would impose. Because the announcement of a specific punishment was delayed by the trial court, Steele was entitled to additional process. In particular, he was entitled to have the matter heard by a different judge. Steele's repeated refusal to comply with Judge Glanville's direct order was conduct directed toward the judge. Steele continued to challenge the propriety of the ex parte meeting and asserted that he could not legally comply with Judge Glanville's order to disclose his source. The exchange between Steele and Judge Glanville makes clear that Judge Glanville was involved in the controversy. For these reasons, a different judge should have presided over the contempt hearing, and failure to do so requires a reversal. So that's Brian Steele's reverse contempt is flipped on his head because Judge Glanville should have given this over to another judge to look at. Reversing contempt order on due process grounds because contempt actions should have been heard by a different judge, where announcement of punishment was delayed and allegedly contentious conduct and attorney's failure to stand and respond to the court was conduct directed at the judge, and the judge became involved in the controversy. We got that. Where a judge does not act in the instant of the contempt is committed, but waits until the end of trial. On balance, it is generally wise where the marks of the unseemly conduct have left the personal stings to ask a fellow judge to take his place. Judgment reversed. All the justices concur. Oh, there's no signature at the end. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Amethyst Angel. I was hoping there's going to be a signature at the end. But that is the reversal of Brian Steele's contempt charge. So there we go with that. And we are done with that one. Let me make sure we got this ready for when court is coming back, aka the ex parte. Yeah, and thank you, Monica Mo Justice. No, I totally get it. I was just pointing out that, sometimes we've seen, probation, and we've seen documents lumped together. So I was thinking that the other documents were there, but brother was out there getting his own employee discount. So I can't do nothing with that. Can't do nothing with that. Can't do nothing for him, man. All right, what we got here? I see some good conversation going in. Yeah, I don't know why Ray was doing that. Y'all pray for Ray. All right, what we got? Close this out, matter of fact. Still could have lost his license. Absolutely. If he had answered the question, he could have got a bar complaint. Absolutely. Over something that had nothing to do with him. And again, it was wrong for them to be doing it in the first place. Very keen observation, Dream. Thank you so much for that. I love it. Good conversation in here. Always good to hear and see you all. Thank you so much for tapping in with us today, looking through, making sure nothing else we missed, checking the traps, making sure all of them are clean. Looks like we got everything we need, crisp and clean with no caffeine. All right. We're going to find out. Okay, so when they come back today, they're supposed to be back in a few minutes, really. When they come back, they're supposed to be going over who's going to be the next witnesses after this current witness, if I remember correctly. I think Atkins is doing a horrible job, but I mean, that's a whole nother game. I think that brother is really not rocking he's not rocking it like I would think that he was doing. He's done really well in the past. But today just seemed like he just phoning it in. He is just phoning it in. So let's see. Just try and check real quick, see if there's anything else that we need to go over. Nothing else. Oh, I like it. Okay, hold on real quick. Thank you, Danielle. Let's see. I got this. Oh, there we go. So, brother, that's not bad. Thank you. Let's real quick keep my eye on the court. So what did Mr. Sumlin do? Okay, so Antonio Sumlin, all right, this is back in November, December term of 2022. Final disposition, felony with probation. Here are his charges. Wow. So we have 4 charges: conspiracy to violate RICO, commit a crime, participate in criminal street gang activity, and conspiracy to commit a crime. So those are 2 separate. I wonder if this is. This is. I'm gonna look back and see exactly what was he doing? I wonder. What did brother do? Okay, but let's keep going. Each one of these got 15 years probation. So, I mean, he got 60 years of probation off the rip. That's crazy. That is insane. So they're going to just run them side by side. So he would have 15 years of probation. The defendant is adjudged guilty or sentenced under first offender's conditional discharge for the above sentence offenses. So he got First Offenders Act. The court sentenced the defendant to confinement in such institution as commissioner of the State Department of Corrections may direct, with a period of confinement to be commuted as provided by the law. So a sentence, 15 years of probation to be served in probation. We got that. There's an unaliving, really? What? Wait. Oh, we definitely gonna talk about this, Mo. Defendant received credit for time served. They didn't say that. The above sentence may be served as a probation provided by the defendant, provided the defendant shall comply with conditions of probation imposed by the court as part of his sentence. Okay, we got that. All right, we read through all of this, I believe. Oh, no, these are general conditions. I'm sorry. All right, let's jump to the general conditions. Do not violate the criminal laws of any governmental unit and be of general good behavior. Avoid injurious and vicious behaviors. Avoid persons or places of disreputable or harmful character. Don't be hanging out at Club Crucial. Stay away from Club Crucial. That should just be the crucial clause. Report to the community supervision officer as directed and permit the community supervision officer to visit you at home or elsewhere. Work faithfully at sustainable employment insofar as it might be possible. Do not change your place. Number 6, do not change your place of abode. Don't move outside of the jurisdiction of the court or leave Georgia without permission from the community supervision officer. If permitted to move or travel to another state, you agree to waive extradition from any jurisdiction where you may be found and not contest any effort by any jurisdiction to return you to this state. Good gracious. I wonder how difficult it is to get permission to like go on vacation. Because that's the first thing I'm thinking. What if I want to go on vacation? Oh my gosh. Support your legal dependents to the best of your ability. Pay your child support. Pay for your kids. Get a job. Okay, I support those. When directed and in the discretion of the community supervision officer, submit to evaluations and testing related to rehabilitation and participate in and successfully complete rehabilitative programming. Wear a device capable of tracking locations by means including electronic surveillance or global positioning satellite. Complete the residential or non-residential program for substance abuse or mental health treatment and agree to the imposition of graduated sanctions as defined by law. Make restitution as ordered by the court. You know what I think is interesting? Very rarely do you see anything about do better, like go get an education. I just wonder, like, if they set up a situation where they're like, hey, in order to be on probation, you have to go get your GED. You have to go get an associate's degree. I just not saying that that's going to guarantee. I know that it doesn't. There's well-paid criminals out there, just like anybody else. But I wonder why, especially when you know that these people right here are definitely not educated. At least just go learn to read. Take an adult reading program. I wonder, would that help them? Would that be a way to offset some of this revolving door that we see? Not saying it's a guarantee, but hey, clearly these things right here don't work. So is my idea that crazy? With the felon, with the felony, you can't qualify for a lot of programs. So, but okay. These gentlemen already have one arm tied behind their back and a ankle monitor, right? Sure, they don't qualify for a lot of programs, but nothing is stopping you from starting a decent business. You can start a business as a felon. I'm just saying. But for goodness sake, I mean, the gentleman can't read. If you can't read, you're not going to be super duper successful. I mean, reading is going to be a key to success for a lot of these people. If they could just read, and why not make a stipulation? Because again, they've had these stipulations. I'm sure if we review 1,000 probation requirements, general conditions for probation, I'm going to go on a limb and say that these are probably what are in most general probation conditions. Why not having it? You got to go get a GED. Something simple. You got to get a GED. In the feds, you got to get a GED. Okay, there we go. Who's reading? Obama? Oh, let me say this real quick. I'm not saying Obama can't read. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, why not put some other stipulations in here? Like, because they're assuming mental health and they're assuming drug usage. So why not just assume, hey, you know what? If you maybe already have your bachelor's degree, you gotta go back and get an advanced degree. That'd be part of and we'll take off 2 years. We'll take off as long as it takes you to get your advanced degree. We'll take that off. And matter of fact, we'll multiply it by 2. So if it takes you 2 years to get your advanced degree, we'll take 4 years off of your probation. Why not? It's at least helping them. And felonies do hurt you all the way around, but I mean, there's some ways to make it more advantageous. I mean, I'm starting to lean toward once you've done your time for your crime, except for very, very narrow situations, everything else should be removed. That should be off your record. Now, on the same note, you should not be able, if you were a felon because of a white collar embezzlement crime, you should not be able to become a banker again. Okay. I think we can all agree to that. But I don't think it should be on your record. I mean, an albatross around your neck. I think David's right. They don't actually want to help them. This is a very, I mean, it seems like it doesn't, I don't see how this would ever help somebody. Just a thought. Okay, wait. Danielle, shout out to Danielle. Danielle's been dropping some great nuggets today. What does she say? DWC, Glanville did say if Wooney Lee went and got a 2-year college degree, he would terminate his 9 years probation. Shout out to Glanville. Okay. Hey, that's dope. I hope hopefully he did that. What if he did do that? And he actually was a testament that Glanville stood by his word, Glanville did the right thing, and so forth. That's not bad. And I think there's, in my mind, just now, probably ankle deep in this case. Okay, most of us are. There's a lot of people that are smarter and have different life experiences than me. In my mind, do something, provide an opportunity for people for men to better themselves and to be successful. Because as I've said before, I think a lot of the problems is that these men don't feel like they have value in their community, apart from just raising Cain and wreaking havoc. So why not encourage them to find value? One of that being they can read, okay? Or one of them being Judge Whitaker's back. Let's go.
All right, is there anything we need to put on the record before we get the jury out?
Okay, I don't know what happened there. No, these are some great comments. And look, I'm only just talking about it. I'm not trying to make a referendum or change anything like that. Having a felony should be a deterrent, sure. But if this gentleman right here, if his felony in this RICO was that he was modeling clothes, what? First of all, I think that's wrong. That alone is wrong. However, if that's his participation, his key to this dumpster fire of a circus was that he was modeling clothes, I'm sorry, then they should have some kind of way for that man to sponge himself of the stench of that felony, because you don't have anything else on him, in my opinion. But again, there's so many moving parts in this, it's ridiculous. So speaking of ticket for entry, you know what your ticket of entry is? Hitting that like button. Hit that like button, everybody. Thank you so much. Almost 560 people are watching. I'd appreciate it. If we hit 1,000 a day, I think Kiana challenged me to drop or gift 10 more memberships. I will absolutely do that. No problem at all. Let's go ahead and hit 10. Let's go ahead and hit 1,000. Let's hit 10 million views. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. How many of y'all thought about it when y'all were sending text messages today? Like, oh, how would this show up in court? Absolutely. I agree, expose. Thank you, Jeff. You're right, sir. Or just get a career. What if he was on probation, but every year that he works at a certain level, you have to work a job that you make $30,000 a year or more. Every year that he works that job, he gets 3 years commuted off of his probation. What about this? You got to have a savings account. You got to save money. It would make the men better. That's the only thing. Stop arguing with me. It would make them better. It's for because these things right here have been here. The avoid club crucial and go to your probation officer and don't leave out of town and do all that stuff. That's been here. It ain't been successful. Why not say, hey, you have to work a job that will help you. We're going to put in place some ways to help you get a job. You got to get a job that makes $35,000 a year, at least. And every year that you work that job, you'll get so much time taken off. If you get a promotion, if you get elevated in the career, you get a raise, it will subsequently do that as well. Start a savings account. Something. Why not provide something that will make these men successful? Because at the end of the day, and in the back of my mind, I keep thinking about how Judge Whitaker said, I see you were trying to do well in your life. I hope this doesn't set you back.
probation. And Mr. Sledge, I am sympathetic to the fact that you have generally stayed out of trouble, and I want to commend you for that. And I really hope that this revocation doesn't set you back. But we've got to take seriously the court system. So.
No, just taking me out of the system for 5 years, not going to do anything, not going to cause any hiccups in my life. So if you want to be a fair judge, if you want to do the right thing, because this should be about helping the man get better so he doesn't turn back into the situation, because y'all have done a piss poor job of supporting the community that these men come out of. So why not at least say, hey, we've done a horrible job of turning away these gangs. We're going to do a better job by putting in some stop gaps in these probation elements that will build up these men and help them do better. Because you see, they got the audacity here to say you take care of your children. Man, that's low down. They tell them you got to take care of your, support your legal dependents as best of your ability, but you put them in jail. You don't even encourage them to get an education. You don't provide them a way to get better. So how are they going to do that? I usually tell you, email management, dearwokec@gmail.com. Man, whatever. At this point, that's why I don't think this case is about justice. It's not about doing the right thing. It's not about doing the right thing. It's not about making these men better so they don't stay in the system. Sure, maybe it's a true conspiracy. Maybe they're all just like modern day slavery. Okay, fine. Why can't we get upset and angry and say this needs to change? Men who are on probation should be probated into a job, probated into an education system so that they can learn. I mean, just think about it. Y'all was reading those text messages and y'all are like, oh, they were doing text speech. No, you do text speech. That's probably their language. That's probably the high watermark of their language skills. Y'all have seen those videos. You've heard the interrogation videos, the jail calls. The education level's not there. So stop lying. Let it go. Why not do something that will ultimately make these men better? I'm just saying. Yeah, it just seems like, reading through this, like, yo, you're not going to make this man any better. He's going to come back. If you don't want him to come back, and again, we could talk for 10 days about that.
Well,
I'm sorry. They could provide a very basic system to allow these men to save money. It doesn't have to be something super highbrow. Or it could be a doggone Cash App. Venmo probably got the same thing. But why not make stipulations of these men's probation to be that they got to save money? Get a good job and save money. Imagine what that would do over time. They got 15 years probation, over 15 years of saving money. I'm pretty sure all of us have some terrible, saving money stories. But boy, if you had saved money for 15 years at 2%, 3%, whatever, what would that have done to your mindset? What would that have done to your ability to change your kid's life, to build for your family, all of that stuff? I'm sorry. I don't think these people care. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Yeah, teach a man to fish. Help the brother out.
Yo, hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.